She was witty, lovable, and the sensible roommate sandwiched between a blonde bombshell and a klutzy manchild in one of television's most iconic sitcoms. But what happened to Joyce DeWitt after the lights of Three's Company dimmed? From overnight fame to life-faltering choices, from retreating from the spotlight to an unexpected return. This is the full, untold story of Joyce DeWitt then versus now. Hit that like button, subscribe for more classic Hollywood stories, and let's dive into a journey filled with laughter, heartbreak, and rediscovery. Joyce Ann DeWitt was born on April 23, 1949, in Wheeling, West Virginia, and raised in Speedway, Indiana, a suburb of Indianapolis. Growing up in a strict Catholic family of Italian and Dutch descent, DeWitt showed early signs of creativity and ambition. As a teen, she began performing in high school plays and quickly fell in love with the stage. But unlike many young actors chasing instant stardom, Joyce also valued education. She earned her bachelor's degree from Ball State University, followed by a Master of Fine Arts from UCLA, one of the top acting programs in the country. Her academic rigor set her apart from many Hollywood hopefuls. While working as a legal secretary, to support herself, Joyce continued auditioning, landing a few small roles before fate stepped in. In 1976, Joyce auditioned for a new ABC sitcom called Three's Company. Originally brought in as a backup, she quickly won over producers and landed the role of Janet Wood, the intelligent brunette who would balance out the show's slapstick chaos. The show, about three platonic roommates sharing an apartment in Santa Monica, premiered in 1977 and became an overnight success, with John Ritter as Jack Tripper and Suzanne Summers as Chrissy Snow. The trio's chemistry became television gold. DeWitt's performance grounded the show. She was the everywoman, the practical, sometimes underappreciated voice of reason amidst comedic madness. Her expressive face and impeccable timing made her a fan favorite, but behind the scenes, tensions brewed. When Suzanne Summers left the show over a contract dispute, it strained the dynamics between the cast members and the producers. Joyce, who stood her ground during these controversies, grew disillusioned by the industry's politics. Three's Company ended in 1984 after 8 successful seasons, leaving Joyce both celebrated and emotionally spent. After the show's finale, Joyce made a conscious decision to step away from Hollywood. The constant scrutiny, behind-the-scenes politics, and the toll of fame pushed her toward introspection and withdrawal, while her co-star John Ritter went on to enjoy steady work in film and television. Joyce declined many offers. Instead, she returned to theater, her first love, performing in regional plays and directing stage productions. Unlike the glitzy lights of Hollywood, the theater offered her authenticity and creative control. Joyce also spent time traveling and engaging in philanthropic work, particularly focusing on hunger, relief, and homelessness. This period was about reclaiming her identity away from the glare of celebrity. Throughout the 1990s, Joyce kept a low profile. She never married and remained extremely private about her personal life. Though tabloids speculated, she focused on self-discovery, spirituality, and personal growth. She moved out of Los Angeles for long periods, avoiding public appearances. While her fans longed to see her on screen again, Joyce found peace in silence. She would later say in interviews that she needed that space to reflect, recharge, and heal. The decade became a transformative period from TV star to seeker of truth and balance. After nearly 20 years away from mainstream Hollywood, Joyce made a surprising reappearance in the 2000s. In 2003, she gave a touching interview following the sudden death of John Ritter. Her emotional tribute showed fans how deeply she cared for her co-star, despite their earlier distance. The tragedy seemed to spark a shift in Joyce. She began accepting small roles again, such as in independent films and theater revivals. In 2009, she starred in the TV film Call of the Wild, marking a symbolic return to the screen. Around the same time, she appeared on The Suzanne Summers Show, reuniting with her former co-star after decades of estrangement. The heartfelt episode saw both women reflect on fame, betrayal, and forgiveness. Joyce's return wasn't about chasing stardom, it was about reconnection, healing, and embracing the joy of performance once more. In the 2010s, Joyce DeWitt evolved into a quiet symbol of aging gracefully and choosing authenticity. She began speaking at events, participating in charity work, and occasionally starring in stage productions. Fans noticed that she maintained her signature look: dark hair, bright eyes, and that same radiant smile. In 2012, she starred in Rock Story, and in 2018, performed in the stage play Miss Abigail's Guide to Dating, Mating, and Marriage. She was no longer a regular TV presence. Her occasional appearances were celebrated with great enthusiasm. Joyce also used her voice to support causes close to her heart: environmental protection, homelessness, and hunger awareness. She has remained unmarried, child-free, and unapologetically independent. Today, she lives a balanced, mindful life, spending time between work, nature, and quiet reflection. At 75 years old, Joyce DeWitt is still graceful, witty, and wise. While she never chased the limelight like many of her peers, her contributions to television remain legendary. She occasionally appears at fan conventions and Three's Company retrospectives, always greeted with affection and admiration. Her story is a rare one in Hollywood, one of fame, retreat, renewal, and peace. Unlike the cautionary tales that dominate celebrity culture, Joyce's journey is one of self-preservation and clarity. She never let the industry define her, and that decision has allowed her to live with freedom and dignity. She remains an inspiration for actors and audiences alike, proving that you can walk away from the stage and still own it. From the sound stages of sitcom fame to the quiet hills of inner peace, Joyce DeWitt's story is as captivating as any script she ever read. Then, she was the relatable girl next door. Now, she is a woman who chose truth over fame, wisdom over wealth, and purpose over popularity. That is the real legacy of Joyce DeWitt. Like, comment, and subscribe if this story inspired you. Share your favorite Three's Company moment below, and stay tuned for more legendary journeys in our Then vs. Now series.